Today's review is on the Bont Vapor S's. I've had these shoes for a week now and have just over 100 miles in them. And yeah, let's go on my thoughts and review of these. So first to start off is when you're going to order these shoes, measure your feet, do each foot, the length of it and the width of it. Just due to the fact that their sizing chart is quite detailed, and depending on what specific shoe you want, you could need a different size. Essentially, through all their shoes, they've separated them into 3 different categories. So you'll have to look and see which category your specific shoe is that you're looking at. These and the 0 pluses, it said that my foot fit in the wide category because I have a left foot that is 278 millimeters with a 111 width, where my right foot is 279 millimeters with 110 width. So technically my right foot fit in a regular shoe, but my left one fit in a wide shoe. So of course you go with a bigger measurement, so I went with the wide ones. And some of the reviews that I've been reading have said that these shoes run large, which I have to kind of disagree with. I think they run pretty spot on. If not, the width is just a hair smaller than what they say. Like I said, their standard size is rated from 100 to 110 width, and the wides are 111 to 115. These wides I think fit perfect, and I'm on the smaller side of it. Yeah, so the cool thing about Bont is they come with 5 standard widths. So they actually come in narrow, standard, they come in wide, double wide, and Asian fit. Took me a little bit to figure out what the Asian fit was, but essentially it's a lower volume in the toe and a narrower heel. But other than that, it's the same as the wide shoe. Personally, I have a narrow volume, but my heel is not narrow by any means. So I still went with a standard, well, I went with a wide one, which I think fits perfect. I have just a hair more room top to bottom, but I personally like to run my shoes on the loose side, and I run them on a fixed gear, so it's a lot of pulling and yanking on these, and I have not had one issue. I actually can tell a huge difference in the riding quality coming from the Shimano Spire shoes. I had the RC 991s, the first generation of them, and personally I think it's night and day difference. I'm so happy with these over those. One of the really cool things is that they're heat moldable, so you actually put them in a toaster oven and you can form them right to your foot, which I have done a couple times to get the fit perfect. Yeah, essentially just take your time with them, follow the directions on Bont's website, which is 20 minutes at 160 degrees. And then you can heat mold them as many times as you need. Essentially you take the insoles out, no cleats or bolts or anything in the bottom. BOA system's fine to leave on there. And then also the removable heel, or the heel padding, just leave them on. I didn't have any issues with them. But yeah, if you have a issue with like a knuckle on your foot or anything like that. Like I personally have right around just on the back side of the middle of my foot, I have knuckles sticking out. So I would take the ball end of the screwdriver and essentially just push it on the inside when they're hot to get extra space in there, and it's helped a lot. Also, comparing these to my old Specialized shoes is the stack height is a hair lower. So my old ones were 4.4 millimeters, where these are 3.6 millimeters. Just gets you a little bit closer to the pedal spindle, and the power transfer on these is pretty ridiculous. Essentially, they have, when I first got these, I was kind of nervous due to the fact, well, I have tried a couple pairs of Bonts on before, but they've never been the wide ones. If they are not molded to your foot, if they need to be, they're not the most comfortable shoe. Just due to the fact that the padding is very minimal, but once you mold them to your foot, they are super comfortable while riding, and yeah, just they hug your foot. The non-directional carbon of them wrap actually around everywhere on your foot, so that's how not only does it stabilize your foot, but helps the power transfer and forms to your foot, essentially, with doing the baking. With that being said, I also think, like, I always run my cleats all the way in to essentially get my feet as far out as possible. So with that being said, I've always ran the Ultegra Plus 4 pedals on my bike to try to essentially just get my feet out a little bit farther, especially with running track cranks, which are a little bit more narrow. But with these being not only wide and a good support on them, and me still riding my cleats all the way in, I actually think the mounting holes are in a little bit farther than on most shoes. I feel like most shoes that I've seen, they kind of tend to be perfectly centered, where these I think are just a hair on the inside, which I really like because it's helped me get my feet out wider. So on my bike, I've actually put stock Ultegra pedals on with just a pedal washer. So I'm going to try those out this week to see how it feels, because I could actually feel a big, pretty significant difference going from the Shimano shoes to these. Also, another thing I read that I don't necessarily agree with is cleat placement, or how difficult it is to get your cleats set up on these. So people were saying that since these shoes are completely handmade, that the mounting points on the bottom aren't always precise. I have found, as you can see, cleats are mounted a hair different. This one is twisted a hair more to get my feet in the same angle. But overall, the stability, when I set up my cleats and just trying to go uphill, especially on a fixed gear, that it's just so much more stable and comfortable. These by far are my favorite shoes. Super stable, down to how the carbon wraps around your foot, to how they've actually designed the shell of the shoe, which doing so, they made it so you do not necessarily need a arch insole support. A lot of people, not a lot, I've read a few reviews saying that they don't like the insoles that come with them because there's not much stability to them, where I do agree, but personally I like it. They're very just minimal, very thin. It's just reading, I think it's 3 or 3.1 millimeters thick. Doesn't compress at all, no arch support. The shoe actually with the carbon coming up in the sole of it is actually designed to essentially act as a arch support. So when you mold them to your foot, it gives the correct amount of arch support that you should need. One thing that I have been having a little bit of issue trying to find, didn't do a great amount of research on it, just read the main bullet points on these when I order them, say that they're not real leather and suede. Some of the older reviews from 2017 mainly was saying that it is real leather. I do not believe that they are now. If they are, I've not been able to find it. Everything that I am reading recently saying that it's not real leather, which to me makes a difference with being vegan. Essentially I was looking at Lake brand shoes compared to the Bont and decided to go with the Bont due to the fact that they're not made out of real leather. So yeah, like I said, I only had a little bit over 100 miles in them, but very happy with them. I've gotten them wet, unfortunately, already, and still doing good. Wiping them down has been a breeze for having white shoes. Absolutely love white shoes. I forgot how much I did. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this review, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.